So let's talk a bit about subtraction. We'll have a little bit of an intro and then we'll talk about how we can do quick calculations in our head during the exam. So first of all, what is subtraction? Subtraction is taking an amount and taking away a certain amount from that amount. Let's say I have 100 checkout and I'm giving away or I'm taking away 70, right? This is what subtraction means. I'm taking away an amount from another amount. What I'll be left with is 30. 30, which is the result of my subtraction, is called the difference between the two amounts. So that's subtraction. Let's talk about how we can do quick calculations in our head. Now with 170, because they're relatively round numbers, it's much easier to do. But what if I have 365 shekel and I want to take away 78 shekel? Here it gets a little bit more complicated. We have to think a bit differently. We have to start thinking not in the difference between the two amounts, but the distance between the two amounts. This will make things a little easier because when I'm looking at distance, okay, when they're asking me the distance between 70 and 100, okay, it doesn't matter if I'm looking from 100 to 70, from 70 to 100, because it's distance. What they're asking me, let's say I'm going from 70 to 100, what does 70 need? How much do I need to add to 70 in order to get to 100? And the answer here is 30. So not only are we looking at it in a way that's distance, but what we're basically doing is we're taking a subtraction exercise and making it into an addition exercise. How does it work? What am I basically saying? 70 plus what number will lead me to 100? Okay, so that's basically how we need to think about subtraction. Think about it as distance so that it doesn't matter from where we start. And ultimately think about it as an addition exercise. Okay, so that was 70 and 100. Let's take a more complex example. What about 67 minus 28? Okay, so from 28 to 67, I'm adding 2 to get to 30. From 30 to 67, I'm adding 37. So I know that the whole thing is 39. Now, that was fast and in my head. And now we're going to break this down. 67 minus 28. So I'm starting from 28 and I want to get to 67. Okay, so I'll stop in a number that is round. Let's say 30. Okay, so from 28 to 30, I've added 2. How much did I need to add from 28 to get to 30? I've added 2. Okay, and now I need from 30 to 67. It's much easier to do, right? So 30 to 67 is 37. So I've added 2, I've added 37. How much have I added? Altogether, 39. Okay, so that's how we do it. We basically turn a subtraction exercise into an addition exercise while looking at our distances and stopping with round numbers in order to make this a lot easier. So that was one example. Let's do another one. What about 121 minus 65, right? So here I'm at 121. I'm starting from 65. Okay, I want to get to a round number. Let's get to 100. Okay, so from 65 to 100, how much did I jump? 35. And from 100 to 21, it's a lot simpler now that we've stopped at a round number, is 21. So 35 plus 21, my altogether distance is 56. Okay, so this is the answer, 56. Okay, if you're not used to going straight to 100, you could have stopped at 70 and said this was 5, and then from 70 to 100 said this was 30, and again to 21. Okay, but the more you'll do this, the more practiced you'll be at going into bigger numbers. So that's subtraction. That's how we look at subtraction, as in distance, and we stop along the way in order to see how much distance we've crossed in order to get to our final number.